Hello, guys, and welcome to Boomer 11 Live. And we are back after a crazy game of cricket. I mean, last time RR took on SRH in a very similar game. We saw a no ball incident take place and a lot of things go down. And once again, it's a last ball thriller where Bhuvaneshwar Kumar got his old self back to ball that brilliant Yorker to Rahman Powell and to win by 1 run. Crazy game of cricket to say the least. After being 1 for 2, Rajasthan Royals had a very good fight back as well to get to where they have gotten. Riyan Parag, Yashasvi Jaiswal, kudos to them for playing a brilliant knock. And even SRH, they were 8 overs 48. For them to score 200 in itself was a massive, massive effort. So, all in all, a great game of cricket. If you're a cricket fan, you enjoyed it a lot. I have Jen joining me. Jen, how did you enjoy that game of cricket?
It was nice. I mean, it was a very nice game. Not really good if you're a CSK fan because we got bumped down to the RCB area of the league, RCB Mumbai area of the league, the lower half. Not really a pretty pleasant sight, especially when it keeps happening every once in a while now for us. But I think overall, you have to say that SRH absolutely clawed their way back. Pat Cummins bowled the best death overs he's ever bowled in his career. Gave 7 runs away, could
Yeah.
have been even lesser, but it was just really smart bowling and some really, inexplicable batting from Roman Powell.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like he would connect 5 deliveries. Luckily for him, 4 deliveries, but luckily for him, he connected the last one. But then it just wasn't enough, and I just felt like RR really bottled. And one of the reasons for that is because don't bat deep, and this is one issue that's going to hurt this team. And I think overall, you also have to say that they really did throw a lot of their wickets,
Yeah, I agree.
especially maybe Hetmeyer and Dhruv Jurel, two people who could have played a little longer, didn't really need to take those risks,
Yeah.
especially when you don't have to worry about net run rate and
Yeah.
you're looking to, maybe that seemed a bit odd for me. But aside from that, you have to really say that, it was a game that RR deserved to win. But that's how cruel cricket can be, isn't it?
I agree. I totally agree with you here because when they took double almost on every ball in the last over and to lose from there, I think it did be really hurt with that kind of a loss. Though it won't really matter to them if you look in the context of the tournament, but these are the kind of losses which hurt you more than losing by 100 runs, I feel. You wouldn't want to lose these kind of tight games. And if you look, RR's two losses this tournament has both come like a last ball finish. It was 2 runs needed of the last ball for RR to lose against GT and 2 runs in of last ball to lose against SRH as well. So they've been a very good team, right? They barely had given any teams any sniff. I mean, 1 for 2, a lot of teams would have not even scored those 200 runs. Let's be very honest. And for them, those two youngsters, Riyan Parag and Yashasvi, to bat the way they did, exemplary. But I think we have to talk about SRH today. What an incredible knock from Travis Head. So unlike Travis Head. And to add to all this, let's give credit to Nitish Kumar Reddy. With every game he's playing, this guy is slowly making a name for himself and he can ball as well, which is a good thing for Indian cricket in totality.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's also. You have to say that he's also a sort of a competition to this fast bowling all rounder category that India has been searching for a long time now. I think Hardik Pandya is comfortably sitting there still, despite all the boos that's been echoing in Wankhede. But he is someone who's definitely out there to look out. I mean, he's someone you would probably want to look out for. And I think with the bat and with the ball, I think if he can improve his bowling a little bit more, and he's still a very raw commodity, a really raw player yet. But these kind of players can really grow if you give them the right development. And I have to say that there's something about this, SRH team just looks a lot more fresh than last year. And last year we sat and criticized them for the kind of atmosphere they had in the dressing room. I think a lot of that has changed, and maybe a lot of it credit has to be given to Pat Cummins. Maybe somewhere, someplace, he's giving a little bit, contributing a little bit back towards the Indian cricket. But yeah, you have to say that it was a very important partnership for them because they didn't really have the kind of start that you expect from SRH, right? Very slow start. I think you have to really appreciate RR bowlers as well. You've never seen RR bowling really travel, regardless of wherever they've played, right? I think they've been the best bowling attack economically as well, speaking. So they've done well predominantly in this series. And even today, you would have to say that they just fell through towards the last 5 overs, but otherwise, it was a very good effort. But for Travis Head to play this, and this is a kind of innings that you've seen Travis Head play. You've followed him. He's really grown as a cricketer. You've seen him play these innings as well. Now, I think whether it be in the test matches or this role, right, where you're building an innings rather than really getting the team off to a start. So he's a player who's much more beyond than just blind hitting, and that just shows that maybe he's much bigger a threat than what Indian fans think he is.
Absolutely. I think sometimes, you have to give credit because of situation. Some players do come and score runs, yes, look great. But for me, why I give credit to Nitish Kumar Reddy is the situation which he was put in, right?
Yeah.
Against quality spin like Chahal to take him down. Possibly Chahal ball, the most expensive spell in his cricketing in IPL career for the matter, which was really, really not good side for an Indian fan. Now, all the players who were selected for World Cup since last 2 days have been really underperforming, which also includes a Sanju Samson three-ball duck. Insane, isn't it? Except for the Yashasvi Jaiswal. That also you got a life, let's be honest. Pat Cummins gave him a life. That also would have been an underperformance under 10 runs. I mean, it's scary thing if you're an Indian fan. You don't want to see that where all the Indian players have been in bad form. I think it's good that they all underperform now. Then you can make it up in the World Cup. So I hope the bad luck is just going off right now itself, and then by the time you reach the World Cup, you can get on going because this usually happens in the
I
World Cup.
think what Sanju got today was, I mean, I know he did not play well. What he got today was a snorter, right? It was an
Yeah, it's something
absolute
like I think
snorter.
about Umar Akmal got in his in Bhuvneshwar Kumar's T20 I debut, if you remember,
Yes. I think
and
Bhuvneshwar
something very
Kumar,
similar ABD Villiers got in South Africa, if you remember that.
yeah. It's just like even Bhuvneshwar Kumar woke up different today, right?
Yeah,
It was so nice to see him ball the way he did. Um, it is really good because I mean you have to say this guy's really fallen off in terms of where he was once upon a time, and it's come to a position where SRH might not even retain him, and he's been such a
yeah.
pivotal player for them for so long, but he might not get retained this time as well. But it's a very good sign, as a fan of Bhuvneshwar Kumar, when like you mentioned the Umar Akmal delivery reminds me of that because that's where I really fell in love with this guy and the way he balls. And he's been an asset to Indian cricket team for a long time. I mean, however long he was good. So it's good to see him ball that way.
I mean, just talking about which, I have a few questions, especially as a fan of cricket. Today's game, you just saw how good two youngsters can take the team,
Yeah.
especially three youngsters. I'm very impressed with Parag as well.
Oh
But
yeah,
one
yeah,
thing I'm a little disappointed with Parag is, this was a game for him to finish. I mean, this is a lot of mistakes with a lot of these young generation batters do. They've been playing extremely fearless, but we talk about Dhoni's, we talk about the Kohlis. They are there in the finish line, especially in situations like this. They make sure the team get over the line because that was such a controllable chase from Riyan Parag. Nothing against Riyan Parag. Obviously, the rest of the batters had a job to do, which they failed, includes Raman Powell, Hetmeyer, and Dhruv Jurel. They did not do the
yeah.
job. But as a set batter who's batting on 77, obviously, you could have gotten to 100, but it's a different debate altogether. But you should be able to stay on the finish line, right? I mean, such a cliche thing to say you should take the team over the line, but it's such an important thing as well in such crunch stages.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're right. I also have to say that with you just felt like it was a shot that was not required at that point in time. I think it already put pressure on Pat Cummins. It was,
Yeah,
um, the pressure was on Pat Cummins, right? And it was not like you really had to get going and you really had to score runs. Pressure was on Pat Cummins. You had almost a runner ball, and I'm not saying you have to take the game deep, and I know that was the philosophy, but that's not the philosophy anymore. I understand all of that, but the game has changed. But I think today was a day where you stand there and maybe someone else take that risk if you really need to take the risk. And you have to also understand that it was not a situation that probably, I think when you lost the wicket of Riyan Parag,
yeah,
if it was Chennai or Mumbai for that matter, if they were in form, or even in RCB for that matter, when if their batters were in form, you'd have to say that those teams have got the batting lineup. They've got
yeah.
the depth in batting lineup. This
Agree.
team with the batting lineup depth that they had was always a challenge. If you keep losing wickets, I think you lost. Riyan Parag was your fourth wicket to fall, and when you have 4 wickets, when you have less than 50 runs to win, 6 wickets in hand, you would back your team to win. But because your I think your number 8 batter is Ravichandran Ashwin. Yeah, number 8 batsman being Ravichandran Ashwin, you really don't have a lot of batters to come in post number the fourth wicket falls. So you have only 3 batters to come in basically. So I think
Yeah,
one batter there really had to sit and decide, and the best candidate for that would have been Riyan Parag because he's the kind of batter who can still score boundaries at will and score singles and knock it around, and he was set. And maybe Hetmeyer could have been the batter to go after the bowling, and that could have happened in this situation because he's chasing. I mean, not very ill-advised if you're setting a target, but not ill-advised when you're chasing a target, especially when it's in your grasp.
I agree. We've got comment on Donovan Ferreira here. Interestingly, nobody's talking about him much, but I don't think you have to blame Powell as much. Remember he just got injured a ball before that, so somehow Dortmund showed their quality. Yeah, I told you Dortmund was going to win. There was no doubt about that. Dortmund was going to win, and Dortmund will be in the final of the Champions League, same as Bayern. It's going to be their Klassiker final. You heard it
You
here
did not
first.
say Dortmund's gonna win.
I told Dortmund was
You
going to
said
win.
Madrid's gonna lose.
I said Madrid's going to win. Yesterday, after PSG game, I told him that Dortmund was going to win.
Oh, you did. Oh, you did. Oh, that was a very good match, though.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
It was a good game. But either ways, I'm gonna say Del Clasica final and Dortmund winning the Champions
Oh,
League.
I really would like it. Oh, that would be such a dream, man.
And Jude Bellingham should watch it on his own TV. That'd be fun. Uh,
I just want to make this. You take the station to say that Jude Bellingham still was right. He still knocked out Manchester City. So, yeah.
what's the point if you're not winning the Champions League and your former team wins it? Haaland made the best decision. He left and he won the Champions League.
I would have to say Jadon Sancho would take the best decision if he
Oh
wins.
yeah, that would be crazy. That Jadon Sancho goes on. I mean, he's playing like prime Hazard or something of that sort. The guy's on steroids. Absolutely
Oh,
phenomenal.
yeah. If I was Jadon Sancho, if I was a
99
Manchester United fan,
20 dribbles.
that's
That's
gonna hurt.
Messi level stats there. I mean,
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
from him. Kudos to him for leaving Manchester United. And Ten Hag must be, under scandal a lot more after that kind of performance. He's
I
put
would
in the
say that Ten Hag must be losing all his hair, but then, yeah.
Yeah, I hope Dortmund qualifies, but it's going to be extremely hard in Paris for Dortmund to really sustain for a longer period of time. But if they can do it, Madrid is hard to beat in Bernabeu. Um, I don't know, man. Let's see. I mean, anything is possible. It's a semi-final. Let's just
I
not
mean, I
jump
have
the
to say
gun.
one thing that when I watched the match, it just felt like Tuchel. I really felt Bayern had a better game, but then it was
Yeah,
just two mistakes by Kim Jae who really messed things up. Right,
yeah,
he did
I
not
agree.
mark Vinny well, and those two goals came in. Otherwise, those goals would have never
That was a
happened.
moment of magic from Tony Cruz as well. That
Oh
pass,
yeah,
which
yeah, true, true.
he so
Just that
that's
those
out
slight
of the
bit of
blue.
misjudgment, and then Tony Cruz is clinical.
I think moreover it could, as I mentioned, it could be a Del Clasico final, but I would, what I feel, what my heart wants is that, but my brain
Yeah,
says it could be a PSG Madrid final, and Mbappe winning the Champions League before coming to Madrid would be quite fitting. And it's time for oil money clubs to rule the world, man. Last year was City, this year it's going to be PSG, and Luis Enrique could get the quadruple. Remember that guy's a crazy good
so you're
manager.
saying football's destroyed then.
No, it's just that these guys are winning it, right? These guys are winning it. No offense, but if Luis Enrique wins a quadruple with France, though Ligue 1 is of no matter, or even the French Super Cup is of no use, but winning a Champions League with the PSG team, which no other manager could do, that would be something insane. Let's be honest. And it's Luis Enrique who doesn't get a lot of credit for whatever he's done with Barca as well. So either ways, that'd be great to see in terms of Luis Enrique's POV. But as a fan of football, nobody would like PSG winning it. Obviously. But I think I forgot to take these questions as well. Donovan Ferreira better than Powell. I think they will bring Donovan Ferreira if Rajasthan in the playoff and Butler goes to play for England. Or Tom Codler Carmo, either of them will come. Uh, Either of them will come. I would like to say Donovan Ferreira. I think he can
I
do a better
think
job.
they will have to play Todd Collar Cadmo because Josh Butler is going back. They need an
Yeah,
opener. So they might even play Donovan Ferreira as an opener. They might try that. But they need an opener for sure, and this is the best time for them to try. Right
yeah.
after they get that cue, and I think that's why they're looking for a cue very quickly, so that
Hmm.
they can try these ballers because the English players are going to
Yeah,
play the best T20 team in the world
yeah.
for a series.
Yeah, that's weird actually. Abel looks like cute professor with two specs. I don't know.
Oh, cute professor.
Yeah, cute professor. Either ways. Just talking about this game in totality as well. I think from a point of view of Chennai Super Kings, or for the matter, even Delhi Capitals, Punjab Kings, I'll just put them on the radar. They'll be very upset with tonight's result because they would have wanted. I'll just display the table maybe for a better understanding because
Yeah,
once you display the table, you know where things stand. But as I was saying, Chennai Super Kings would never want this win because if SRH or an LSD keep winning, that's not a good thing for Chennai Super Kings at all because they can't
yeah,
afford to slip up, right? If they slip up, it's game over. Literally, it's game over for CSK from here on because of this result. Because
yeah.
you don't know, and you obviously expect SRH to slip up, but you don't want to rely too much on other teams, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Why am I here? What is this? I just
I
finished.
think one thing that CSK will like about this match is how tight it still got.
Yeah,
Because if you look at the top four, other player, I mean, teams who are ahead of Chennai right now, except for a KKR, and I'm talking about only except for Rajasthan, right? Except for and
yeah,
yeah, if you look at except for KKR, everyone else who's on 12 points, CSK has a better net run rate and a far
yeah.
better net run rate. So CSK will be happy
I'm
for the fact that
expecting KKR to win all their games.
yeah.
I'm expecting to lose. At least they will win all the games in my opinion. They're playing Mumbai next
I
in
think
one.
the Mumbai game can go here or there, but I just feel like
Yeah,
the Mumbai team is really, like we predicted, right? If they can get the dressing order in check, if they can get the harmony back, things will work out. But it just feels like it's all fallen apart for them,
yeah,
and they have a lot to think. They have a big drawing board to go back to.
I agree. For SRH as well, there are 4 games remaining now. For LSG and SRH, I don't expect them to lose all 4. They might win one and they might just lose 3, but I'm expecting them to win at least 2 out of the 4. So these 3 will qualify in 16. I think 16 is going to
I
be the
think
cutoff.
SRH versus LSG is a very important match for SRH because it can be a double blow for whichever team that loses, right? You're not only losing, you're also letting your rival get those 2 points over you. But
Yeah.
then we've got relatively okay games, right? We've got Mumbai Indians, which is in Wankhede, which is not going to bother them because it's a
Talking about
flat pitch.
LSG or SRH?
So the next game is against Mumbai Indians for SRH. Then you
Okay,
have
let's
an LSG versus
see the
SRH.
games.
That is
So
on 8.
maybe Mumbai Indians on 6th, that is on the Monday.
Yeah.
I think if they lose that one, that's going to be a little hard for them because then they go up against LSG. And if they lose that one too, oh, then it's going to get
That is going to
crazy.
be a key match, right? Like how CSK had a very key match against LSG. This very similar situation here.
I don't know, man. I just have a feeling that, SRH, um, SRH might just slip up, in the end moments. They might win two, they lose two, and I think the cutoff is going to come down to 16
No, I
for
also
all
felt
the qualify.
today, right? They were a bit more circumspect with their batting. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that because of the way they batted, but because of the selection they made. When they got in a Marco Jansen, I'm not saying that's a bad selection by any chance. That's the team we predicted at the start, in fact.
Prediction on
We didn't
KMI
expect
versus KKR and Wankhede is something else. Yeah, it's a big game tomorrow for all that KKR are playing a big game.
yeah.
So for KKR as well, the next few games are interesting. Though you would say it's all easy games, but they can't afford to slip up. Imagine KKR lose tomorrow, then if they're going to lose on an LSD, they know the pressure is going to get to them pretty quickly because
And it's a
some of the teams are
situation
not going
where
to lose.
even if you're a top two, you might end up bottling the whole top four.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't want to get back to top 4 as well. You want to maintain this top 2 position. As I mentioned, it is going to be 16 as a cutoff. All the teams were expecting to qualify in 14, including Mumbai Indians and RCB. I think you're done for. I mean, you're just done at this point because you're expecting quite a lot of Kudrat Ka Nizam to happen, which is possible, which is quite possible with Mumbai making a last minute surge if they want to really pull themselves
I
up.
think Mumbai and RCB are done, Abel. I think that they're
I
done.
think they're done. Yeah, it is
They're
last
mathematically
year.
out, I think.
No, they're not mathematically out. They're mathematically still there because if they expect SRH to lose all their games or LSG to lose all their games, even 14, and they have to get a better NRR as well. So that's something which is in their control. Even if they win a game and lose 3, they'll have to expect one of these to lose or KKR to lose all their games. It is possible, which is still a mathematical equation to things. But 16 is going to be cut off in all reality, in my opinion. And for that matter, I think it's going to be something. Where is Sandibani? He knows ball very well. Yeah, he knows definitely about the KKR ball for sure. He's enjoying one of those beaches. He's having some fun before he's
I
going to
think
have
it's
some trauma towards.
that
He
KKR
needs a
Punjab
break.
game. He really needed a vacation, even though KKR did come back,
Yeah.
but he needed a vacation.
So just looking at KKR's games as well, I think for me these 3 teams, right, KKR, LSD, SRH, one of them is certainly going to drop off. I don't know who is it going to be because I'm expecting still a team from outside this top 4 to make it. Could be CSK. I don't have a lot of my money on DC or DC,
I
but
think
I
the
have
thing
a
that goes
sneaky
against
feeling
DC
about
is they've
Punjab
played one.
games. I don't know why. I have a
They've,
very
they've
sneaky
played one
feeling about
game.
Punjab game. Yeah. I have a sneaky feeling about Punjab King, but even if they make the playoff, what's the point? They have all their players from England. They're gonna be looking like a poverty team in the playoff. So unfortunately, they're gonna be robbed of. So they wouldn't want to make the playoff and look like, oh my gosh, we lost all our players overnight. It was like a overnight robbery kind of shit. So they won't want that to happen. But if Punjab can qualify, it's going to be great for the IPL to watch at least. I mean, they can get out to how many points? They
I
can
think
get
if
up to 60
CSK
points.
qualify, it's gonna be great for the IPL because Dhoni gives you views, and views is revenue.
Yeah, views is revenue. But if CSK loses to Punjab the next match, you know the pressure is going to be intense.
I think the
Then
pressure
you
is
know,
already on CSK able, because they can only afford to lose one more match if I'm not wrong, or
I
two,
agree.
one more match.
I agree on that. I agree on that. Totally agree on that. But I still have a feeling that sometimes, in these kind of situations, what you can best do is, uh,
And what worries me about that CSK team able is every CSK team that has done well throughout the years has already gotten the combination set in stone by now. But they're yet to get that done, and that really worries me because not seen a CSK team so unsettled in a long time. Even in the 2018 season, I did not see a CSK team so I mean, not 2018. The season we finished, I think, seventh for the first time ever. I don't remember the year. But even in that season, I don't remember us being this unsettled as we are this time around. And
but
that's
it'd
also
be
got
weird
to do
if
with the
CSK
captain.
misses out on this player because they were supposed to be one of the best teams. CSK and MI, they're supposed to be the top two teams, right?
Yeah,
Like if you look from a larger perspective, but unfortunately, if they miss out, uh, that's going to be sad.
yeah.
But only time will tell us, as I always will mention. Only time will tell us if we can really see things go that way or not.
And I
But
think this is where things get tricky as well, Abel, because the teams at the bottom of the IPL always seem to do well towards these moments because they lose that pressure, and then all those players really regain some of the confidence. You get the do or die attitude, and I think that's where RCB, MI, GT will become, and Punjab, right, are going to become a big threat for these teams on that are ahead.
yeah, I agree. I agree. But talking about which as well, I also have a feeling that if a team from outside the top four right now will have to qualify, the best chance is definitely with CSK. The next best chance I'll give is with DC and Punjab. I'll put them on an equal pedestal, but I still would like to say
I think
Punjab a slight more because of the momentum. You never know.
uh,
But I don't expect the
I would
last.
probably say DC is already DC is slightly ahead, and I'll tell you a different reason, right? The reason I say that is because DC's already got those 10 points. Now Punjab, they still have to reach that 10 point mark, and I think there's some tough games ahead as well. I'm not wrong.
I think they do. Obviously, I think they do have some tough games for sure. But
Yeah.
for me, I have a feeling that I think they have to play ours. Let's see DC who
Yeah,
else
they
they
have
have to face.
Rajasthan. So basically in the next 4 games, 3 of the games they play are in the top five. There's CSK, SRH, and RR.
Okay, that's hard. I think
So
they are
those
gonna.
are hard games.
Those are really hard games because
Yeah.
see if
You've
14
got
has to be
one
a
game against
cutoff.
RCB, but it's not going to be easy as well because, like I
Yeah, I
mentioned,
think
that's when this is the opportunity when teams who don't have pressure on them suddenly become the party poopers.
Yeah, I agree. See, even if 14 has to be a cutoff, even if DC loses the next game or Chennai loses the next two, 14 has to be a cutoff. You are expecting an LSG to bottle, which I don't know if LSG to bottle. The most likely team who can bottle out of SRH and LSG, I believe, is LSG. But it all comes down to that point. Where if LSG are going to win
Yeah, I think
against this,
LSG is well. They've got two tough matches. That is obviously, I think that they're playing Kolkata next.
yeah,
That is on 5th.
yeah,
And then they're going to be playing Sunrisers. That's back to back tough games. But then they've got Delhi and Mumbai in the next 2 games. So I think Mumbai, I'll be very honest, RCB and Mumbai, if you ask me, who do you want me to face as a team? I'll probably look at Mumbai and say that's the team I want to face because they look the most unsettled side, right? Because it
yeah,
just seems like that in the turmoil is really spilled onto the pitch. Things don't look right there. So you
yeah,
would rather face that team. And I think anyone who has got Mumbai in their list, that's why Sandivani will be a little bit more happier that Kolkata is going to face them because
yeah.
I just feel it's easier 4 points or 2 points than maybe an RCB or a Punjab or a GT because you still believe that they've got the belief in their camp that on their day they can do it. But Mumbai
Yeah.
just looks like a split team at this point.
I agree. I mean, I also have a feeling that sometimes, in these kind of situations, the best thing you can do is to just let your team play so much more free. Don't take the pressure off. But it's easier said than done, right? Just play like you have nothing to lose, and you might end up doing something great, like what the other teams on the bottom of the table do. For me, DC will qualify. Offers mega cooking. I don't know, Sanidya, because for DC as well, there's so many issues in that team, and if they lose a game, 14 is going to be cut off for them.
I think,
It's not easy. They can't
yeah,
afford to lose
Sanjay,
these.
the issue with DC is very similar to the issue with SRH. If a Travis Head doesn't perform, they really don't have an impact.
You know,
Players
to
don't
be
have
very
that
honest,
impact.
except for I think except for I don't
Madhur.
know. To be very honest, six all these teams, right? If they go on to win all their games, except maybe LSG and KK, SRH, because they're going to face each other, they can still end up with 16 or 18 points, which is very good. I think
Yeah.
the top three teams, there's a possibility of them ending up with 18 odd points, which is crazy in terms of the context
I
of the
mean,
game.
right now, KKR can end up with, I think, what, 10 points? Yeah. They can end up with 22 potentially if they win all their games.
Yeah.
LSG and SRH, either of them can end up with 20 points, and CSK can end up with 18. So that's where the pressure is. But none of these teams are going to end up there.
CSK
I
can
think
end
it's
up
very
with
tough.
16. Yeah, 18, 18, correct.
But I think
So
none of
if
these teams will end up
as
winning
well,
all their
CSK
games.
will
It's
have to
just
win big as well.
impossible.
Even because if one of them lose one game, which is definitely going to happen, LSG SR is one of them is going to lose for sure because it's a game between these both. So one of them will definitely, if they even if they're going to lose, the other teams will have to make sure that they don't lose by heavy net run rate because CSK is right behind them. So if they lose a close game and they pick on from there, so they can win next three out of four. And CSK also, if they win 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4, CSK can end up in 18, and that's the best possible way for them to qualify. So CSK will know they can't slip up. If CSK slips up even here or there, even if it comes to the Punjab game next in Dharamshala, if they slip up, the pressure is going to mount on CSK. It's going to be massive because then that game against RCB is going to be a virtual knockout for them.
Yeah. And it's not going to be easy because they're playing away from home as well.
Yeah, that's where it's going to come down for CSK. It's a very interesting IPL table, but still, I'd say that this top four looks pretty settled to make the last top four. But only time will tell us in the end. I think that's
But I
about it
think
from us.
that's the thing. I still believe able top six in this table are gonna be competing against each other. It's just like every IPL. It's not settled.
Right now, all the 10 teams are in contention. It's not. Let's regard it mathematically. All 10 teams are in contention. But I
I
think
mean,
by the next by the next week, you would know only 7 teams will be in contention, and a week after that, you'd only have 6 teams in contention. Mathematically speaking, you're closing all those, right? And this week is going to be very crucial for a lot of teams because you want certain results to go. Like for teams like GT or teams like MI, they want results to go their way, and they'll also have to win games. For MI especially, uh, the chances of them qualifying are very minimal. It's same as RCB because 3-7 is what they have. So even if they have to even give a sniff of qualifying, if you're an MI fan watching it, you would know that you'd really have to be absolutely at your best, and you can't afford to slip up. And at the same time, galvanize yourself going into the last week. Uh, will Bayer continue their level losing
never
campaign?
losing.
Oh, that's a nice one.
I like that.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think so, man. It's Europa League, and I think Bayer, even if they lose, I think they'll win the tie ultimately. That's what I believe because they
But I
are
think today is a day for them to win as well. Like they're playing at home.
they're playing away against
They're
Roma.
playing away.
They're playing away.
Oh, this is
Good
leg. Oh no,
man.
wait. Yeah. Correct, correct. They're playing away. They're playing leg two. They're playing at home. So yeah, you're right.
So even
And I
if they
think
lose, I they'll win the
this
tie all
also
time.
this is also a Roma team that has really not looked like themselves, right?
I mean,
I
this
think
Roma team is good, man. Under De Rossi, they've done really well. They've
yeah, but
done
I,
really.
I I just probably would back Bayer level losing.
Mhm. Good one. I think
Yeah,
if you look at just from a perspective of AS Roma, I think they're a team who has really come themselves out of a hole with under De Rossi. Yeah, they are
yeah,
fifth in Serie A after where they could have
fifth,
possibly ended.
yeah.
Yeah, after that whole Mourinho incident. So De Rossi has done a decent job. It's cup football at the end of the day. Anything can happen. So it comes down to these particular moments. So that's what I personally think. And that's it from us as well for tonight. Just talking about this game. I think we'll do a football stream very soon so we can talk about Europa League and Champions League. Maybe this weekend. What do you say, Jared?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
I
Good
think
night,
I think
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Good night. Have a good time, all of you. See you all soon. Bye bye.